Hello and welcome to the Hail Mary Joe 2 TD Scorer Show. I'm your host, Jose, and we're off to the Sunday-Monday schedule for Week 13. So we have 12 games on the docket. I decided to do 4 tickets of 3 players instead of 3 tickets of 4 players. It just reduced my cost. Yes, it does reduce some combinations, some parlays aspect of it, but we haven't hit a parlay yet. We've only been able to scrounge up single 2 TD scorers. So at that rate, I'm trying to, slow down the losses, but yet trying to still keep the possibilities of hitting parlays, let alone if we do it this way, it just might be easier for us to get it. So here we go, and we're going to do. So we have 4 tickets of 3 players, all for 2 touchdowns. Okay, I bet 50 cents on the 1s, 2s, and 3s. And if you notice, I said I bet 50 cents. And the reason why is because I'm not authorized to give you financial advice. So I can only tell you what I am doing. And these are the tickets and bets that I am doing. And if you do decide to gamble on football or any other sport, please only gamble what you can afford to lose. So, 3 players, 4 tickets. Ticket number 1. Player number 1 is going to be Trey McBride. Now, before I go on with Trey, and there's some games this week in Week 13 that I don't really like either team, but because it's what I do, and I pick 2 TD scorers, and bad teams can score a lot of points when they're playing another bad team. So, you know what? There's been games where the score's been 21-17, and we've had two touchdown scores in that game, one on each team. So Trey McBride's my first player for Arizona, 2 touchdowns at 40-1. Okay, in the last 3 games, he's been 20 for 25, 234 yards, and only 1 TD. But I can't trust any Pittsburgh players to score 2. Yes, Pat Freiermuth is back, but you know what? That was his first game back last week. He had a great game, but we're going to wait on it. And at the end of the day, I don't trust their quarterback, Pittsburgh's quarterback, either. So at least, Murray can sling the ball a little bit better than Pittsburgh's guy. So that's why I'm going with Trey McBride. Also, he's a big, heavy tight end, and he may get some opportunities in the red zone. He has gotten 20 out of 25 catches in the last 3 games with 1 TD. So you know what? We're going to try him again this week. Well, I shouldn't say again, but we're going to try him for 2 this week. So the next player is another game that I don't really like. I picked the other team I like, but I picked this team because I think he's going to get so many opportunities. Breece Hall for New Jersey Jets for 2 touchdowns at 8-1, okay? Now, that is my lowest pick of the week. Trey McBride's not my highest pick. We'll get into that later. But this is my lowest pick. He's going to get opportunities. I mean, in the last 3 games, he's had 30 carries for 76 yards, 0 TDs. 15 of 18 catches for 121 yards and 1 TDs. It's Atlanta versus the Jets. Which QB's playing for either team? You tell me. I mean, I wouldn't bet on him, but at the end of the day, I think the best player out there right now, or the one that's showing probably the most potential, is either Bijan Robinson or Breece Hall, and I'd rather go with Hall than Robinson. I just think that they're going to feed him the ball, So the third player I have on ticket number 1 is going to be Courtland Sutton for Denver. 2 TDs at 14-1. Now they're facing the 27th ranked pass defense. In the last 3 games, he's been 15 for 22, 180 yards and 2 TDs. 0 TDs last week, so that's a difference. I've been a big fan of Russell Wilson the last couple of weeks. He has been cooking, as they say. And at the end of the day, I think that they're going. I mean, I love Houston and C.J. Stroud. I think he's, as far as I'm concerned, he could be my MVP candidate this year. It's just as a rookie, what he's done and what he's been doing has just been amazing. And I'm just going to switch from me picking Houston players all the time because they've been passing the balls like devils. But Denver has been awesome in the red zone, and that's why I'm going with them, is because they're going to give opportunities to Courtland Sutton in the red zone. So that's it for ticket number 1. Ticket number 2, So we're going to have Jameson Williams for Detroit, 2 TDs at 35 to 1. Last 3 games, he's been 6 for 8, 113 yards and 1 TD. Yeah, he's facing a tough pass defense, but attention's going to be paid to Amon St. Brown and Sam Laporta, which could free up some opportunities for Williams. Now, Williams is hit or miss, boom or bust, and he could be a boom. I'm going with him, and at them odds, I'm taking him over the other 2. So, do what you like. This is what I'm doing. Hate to say it. The next player is going to be a player for Indianapolis. He's facing the 19th ranked pass defense. He's been hot and cold, and I'm hoping he gets hot this week, and that's going to be Josh Down for Indianapolis. 2 touchdowns at 20 to 1. Like I said, facing the 19th ranked pass defense. Last 3 games, he's been 8 for 19, 93 yards. He's, who can you trust in this team? I'm going with the quarterback that I like. Is going to be Minshew, who I do know that does try and throw the ball. I think that he's going to have some opportunities, and he's going to be able to hopefully blow the top off and give us a couple of 30-yard touchdowns or more. Who knows? But that's what I'm trying for. So the last person I have on ticket number 2 is going to be Jalen Guyton for LA Chargers. 2 TDs at 45 to 1. Yeah, you heard it right. So I don't mind putting out some odds because it's now getting close to the end. I mean, we have 5 weeks left of football before the playoff starts. Certain teams and certain hunting positions that have an opportunity to get to the playoffs are going to put out all the stops, and they're going to get players that normally may not have as much opportunities as they had in the last 13 weeks that may get more opportunities in the next 5 weeks because they need that win and they're willing to try anything. And you know what? When you're playing the Chargers, you got to stop Keenan Allen. Do you know you have to stop Jalen Guyton? Probably not. But Keenan Allen you do, so all the attention is going to be paid to him, which means our boy Jalen has an opportunity to do it. Now, I mean, he's been hurt this year. He's been back since week 9. He's had a bye in week 11. In the last 3 games that he played, he was 5 for 13, 45 yards, and 1 TD. But last week, he had the second most targets for a wide receiver other than Keenan Allen. And I don't trust New England. How can you this year? They've been having a terrible year. I'm going with Jalen Guyton for 2 touchdowns. So, ticket number 3. Yeah, player number 1 on ticket number 3 is Jahan Dotson. There's no real value for any of the Miami players. There isn't. The top 5 of the Miami players are all 7 to 1 or less. Now, Jahan Dotson's been getting a couple of touchdowns here and there the last couple of weeks in the last 3 games. He's been 8 for 12, 75 yards and 1 TD. He's the 5th lowest player on that team. So, I'm going to go with him. He's been hot and cold. He's been good and bad. You know what? But as compared to all the Miami players, yes, there's one thing about Washington. They throw the ball. Who's the number 1 leading passer for QB stats this year? Yeah, the Washington quarterback. So, Jahan Dotson's going to get the ball thrown to him. So will the other wide receivers, but I'm going with Jahan Dotson. So, player number 2 for ticket number 3 is going to be Cade Otton for Tampa. 2 TDs at 35 to 1. I can't trust Carolina's players. You really can't, especially for 2 TDs. In the last 3 games, Cade's been 10 for 12, 104 yards, 0 TDs. He has had a 2 TD game already this year. So, you know what? He could have another one. Now, yeah, they are facing a tough pass defense, but you know what? Baker Mayfield throws the ball. What can I tell you? And he's going to. Yes, he's looking for Mike Evans first off, and then he is looking for Cade Otton second off. So that's where we're going to go. Now, on ticket number 3, player number 3, we're going to go with Tyler Higbee. Tyler Higbee for LA Chargers, 2 TDs at 40 to 1. Yeah, some pretty big odds on this ticket, but you know what? There are 3 players that I like that have a possibility, and I'm willing. It's risk to reward time, and let's ride it, baby. Let's go. So, Tyler Higbee. Okay, he's facing, one of the top-ranked pass defense, but I just don't know who will or who can get 2 TDs for Cleveland. They just haven't done it, and what? Who's their quarterback this week? How are they going to play? How are they going to show up? We're not sure. Last 3 games, Tyler Higbee was 6 for 9, 46 yards and 2 TDs. He has only had 2 TDs all year, so he's coming on stronger in the last 3 weeks than he has been in the first 13 or first 10, I guess. So at this rate, I'm going to try an opportunity with him because he is going to get some opportunity, especially against this tough defense. So, ticket number 4, player number 1, Devontae Smith for Philadelphia. 2 TDs at 16 to 1, sorry. He's facing the 12th ranked pass defense. In the last 3 games, he's been 16 for 19. So his catch rate has been up a little bit better than normal. He's 256 yards and 2 TDs. Last week he got the 2nd most targets on that team. So, that's why I'm going to go back. He's been a bit hot and cold, but you know what? When A.J. Brown is covered, they're looking for him. Dallas Goedert, he's, been hot and cold all year. So, you know what? I'm going with the number 2 receiver for them, and that's going to be Devontae Smith at 16 to 1. So the next player I have is, Rashid Rice. We've tried him again. They're facing Green Bay. Yeah, they're facing the 9th ranked pass defense. Green Bay, I love Green Bay. I'm a Green Bay Packer fan, but you know what? We've been burnt by everybody. Kelsey has burnt us lots of times, and you know what? At the end of the day, they know they have to stop Kelsey to have a chance in this game. So, they're going to give some opportunities to Mr. Rice to, get 2 TDs at 20 to 1. I think that's he's the 2nd best receiver for Kansas City. In the last 3 games, he's been 14 for 17 for 166 yards and 2 TDs. He's the 3rd lowest odds for KC. But, the top 2 are under 5 to 1. That's Kelsey and I call him Pikachu. They're running back, but I'm going with Rice, if anything. Yes, I would love to pick a Green Bay Packer game. Not saying they can't do it, but I think, Kansas City just has, right now, we still don't know what we're getting out of the Packers. And Kansas City needs to stop their slide and stay in hunt for, the number 1 seed. So they need to win this. Both teams need to win this, but, I'm going with KC. Now, the last player is the big one. So I'm going with, you ready for this? For a Cincinnati player, 2 touchdowns at 125 to 1. And that is going to be Tanner Hudson. Okay? Yeah, his targets have been improving the last couple of weeks. With the Cincinnati QB situation, I really don't know. They're going. That's why I'm picking a big tight end. Jamar Chase hasn't been really impressive with Browning as QB. So, they're facing the 21st ranked pass defense, but they're facing one of the worst pass defense for throws within 10 yards from the line of scrimmage. So within 10 yards, that's going to give anybody an opportunity within the red zone to have that opportunity to score, which is why I'm going with Tanner Hudson. Yeah, it's a long shot. It's the biggest long shot I got this week, but it's also one that I'm willing to risk, and I kind of like, especially for them odds. I really do, so that's me. Remember, you don't have to do any of this. Please, don't do any of it. This is strictly what I'm doing, You do what you got to do. I'm going to do what I got to do. So let's just go over a quick review. So ticket number 1, Trey McBride. We've got Breece Hall, and we have Cortland Sutton. Ticket number 2, Jameson Williams. We have Josh Downs, Jalen Guyton for ticket number 2. Ticket number 3 has Jahan Dotson, Cade Otton, and Tyler Higbee. And ticket number 4 has Devontae Smith. We have Rashid Rice, and we have Tanner Hudson. So I bought 4 tickets, 3 players, 50 cents on the 1s, 2s, and 3s. I've spent $14. So anyways, folks, I'll see you on Thursday for the review, and for Thursday's picks. Enjoy the games, gamble responsible, and please remember, this is strictly what I'm doing and only what I'm doing. This is not financial advice. I'm not authorized. But have fun. Enjoy the games.